Here's a shot of Cal at the top right. He's already down one game. He's not in the best condition ever. And, of course, that's BackHo. I love StarCraft. All right, I'm not sure how Cal is going to respond now that he's down one game. Many times when professional gamers are ahead in one game, they are more likely to go for a super aggressive strategy the next time around. Whereas if they're down in one game, they're more likely to try to play a very standard and try to win in the long run. And that's not always true. But sometimes you'll see that pattern. For instance, if they're ahead one game, you may see a proxy gate simply because they're willing to take the risk and they could win really fast that way. Doesn't look like we're going to see that now, though. Will they scout after Gateway? No. It looks like Cal is going to stay in his base. He's going to go for a very economic build order. One of those build orders that pretty much is safe and kind of works against anything and everything. Okay, no, he's going to scout now. Meanwhile, BackHo's already scouting and will scout his opponent right away. We have a very shy crowd here tonight. Note the positioning of that pylon. It does block against Manor Pylon. And it looks as though Cal going for a pretty standard opening right now. He'll get probably 1 to 2 Zealots out as well to block the ramp, and or possibly to rush. He has not put probes into the assimilator yet. And now he has, but those probes are going in there a little bit late. So right now, very standard build orders. We do see a little bit of probe harassment here. We do see a Zealot now coming up the ramp. Now, once again, he has to get the probes. And Cal has proven to us that he has very good Zealot and probe micro. Here he goes, going for the ones at the gas. One is down. Can he get 2? And he looks like he will. And possibly 3. No, microed away. And ooh, almost. He's going to try to block the probe. Well done. It may seem insignificant that he lost a probe or 2 at the start, but this is certainly not the case. Losing a probe, 1 or 2 in a mirror matchup like this can really hurt you, especially early on. Dragoon range is on the way, and well, clearly BackHo's up to something with that probe. Oh no, actually he did this in the previous game. It's not common for Protoss players to send out a second probe to scout after they lost the initial probe, so the response to that many times is after they hold off the first Zealot and probe, they send their Dragoons in the direction towards their base so they can catch that second probe while it's on the way, and that's why BackHo goes around like this. But it looks like Cal decided to sit back and stay defensive in case such a something like that were to happen. Now he's not going to let his opponent in there, and look at this. Very interesting. Cal going for 3 Gateway. We do not see a Forge. We do not see a Citadel, which means, excuse me, we do not see a Forge, and we do not see a robotics facility. So that means that he is essentially taking a major risk here, trusting that he can win early on with a lot of Dragoons with range. He will forfeit the game if it's DTs. Basically going for the rock, paper, scissors build approach. I'll lose, you know, if it's rock, I'll win if it's paper. And if it's scissors, then it will in fact be drawn out, and they'll have to go to another level, another step. Now, as we can see, BackHo playing defensively, actually. And he's going for observers. He does not have the robotic support bay for the Reavers. And here he comes now. He's going to try to break the ramp. It does look as though BackHo is not going to be able to hold off this attack, and Cal's risk may prove to be effective. Here come the probes going to block at the ramp. He has to use those probes to block the ramp, excuse me. He has to hold his position. He can't let him up on the high ground. He's going to try to bait him up there again. But Cal is going to wait for a few more Dragoons. The clock is ticking. Cal has to get up there. And here come the probes again, going for the probe drill. Oh, only 2 Dragoons remain. One squeezed up there. And looks like it will be taken out. These 2 Dragoons are a couple of badasses. They have held off countless Dragoons. Meanwhile, Cal continuing to flood the entrance with Dragoons. Meanwhile, probes being used over here. Does not appear as though he can use that expansion right now. The probe drill once again, but Cal backs off. And he is going to get the Robo Support Bay. Meanwhile, Cal may have actually stopped the rush. He is now going for the contain, taking control of the low ground. Meanwhile, Cal is now expanding to the more desirable Expo and picking a fight with a neutral building. But more than likely, he's doing that so that he will not lose control of that expansion by having Dragoons put on the high ground. So the Robo Bay is just now coming out. He knows that a counter DT rush could prove to be very effective. It's going to be up to whether or not BackHo can break this contain at the bottom of his ramp. The contain doesn't look very strong, though. So, in a few minutes, we will see the yellow Protoss try to break this. BackHo possibly has an advantage right now, and he's going to have to do that with this Reaver. And Cal is going to try to bait the Reaver onto the low ground. And it's kind of funny how sometimes Scarabs just zigzag to the location. All right, now we do have our yellow player BackHo in control of the low ground, or at least his low ground, which means if we see a shuttle coming out here, he could push. Now, at the same time, Cal also getting a Reaver. He knows the only way to counter the Reaver push is with a Reaver of his own. And it looks like BackHo is on the move. We're going to find out if BackHo can control his shuttle and Reaver better than Cal. And it does appear as though nice play here by Cal. He's going to put a few Dragoons on the high ground of his cliff, but he needs to get ready. He will have control of this valley, so to speak. Now here comes the Reaver. Can the Reaver deal the damage? Going for the shuttle. He backs off. The shuttle's been taken out. No! Now probes are coming into the fray. It's unclear, though, if Cal's going to be able to hold this off. There is just an innumerable amount of Dragoons. Looks like 4 versus about 8. Yes, he is going to get in there and take out this expansion. The Reaver is out, but oh so late. He's going to send a few more probes out here, and he's going to try to move in here. But will he manage to keep the Nexus? And the shuttle taking a lot of damage. The Reaver has been destroyed. It's been totally owned, and it looks like GG. Cal loses. The player who is ranked 6th in TESPA has been taken out by BackHo. It was indeed a close series. I am a little shocked, though, that BackHo dominated so easily. Really knowing, oh wow, I just gotta say, I'm impressed. You can see Cal somewhat destroyed right now that he lost. Probably did not expect that to happen. Will finish at the 32nd spot. Meanwhile, BackHo, BallerHo, totally impressing us here. We got more games coming up. Stay tuned.